How does Finance and Commerce hire someone with your wonderful hair?
They didn't. It was a phone interview.
Phone interview.
So they had no idea.
During the pandemic.
I got hired. That's right. I said, this is great. The piercings in the hair won't be an issue.
We're rolling. We're rolling.
This is a real thing. Real thing.
None of you have the balls to stop this. Stop this.
I've got plenty of time. I have nothing else going on today.
We're in the Wedge neighborhood right now.
So why are you a guest on the Wedge Live podcast?
I walked by you.
Okay.
Seen you around over the last year.
You're the second random man that I've picked up today.
Do you have a schedule?
I'm just kind of texting people as I go, like, are you available? Where are you? It's not a great way to do things, but it's hard to stay on schedule at this event because
it's easy to get held up and
it's jammed up.
Yep.
Are you enjoying Open Streets?
Yeah, it's great. I feel like it's busier than the one last fall.
People are hungry for it. The weather is nice.
Yeah, it got a little rainy this morning, this morning. A few sprinkles. It's like 10 blocks shorter this year than last fall. So I wonder if that has any impact on how busy things are.
Oh, it's 10 blocks shorter?
Yeah, it stops at 42nd, I think, instead of 54th.
Nothing good ever happened at the Ward 11, Ward 13 end of Open Streets anyway. As we go through the wrestling crowd.
Yeah. Have they had wrestling before?
Yeah, it's a tradition here.
Okay.
I have never tried to get through a big crowd like this on a giant four-wheeled bicycle before.
Yeah, me neither.
Hopefully we're intimidating enough that people just clear a path.
Yeah. I mean, the benefit is we're not going to tip over and risk having to swerve.
Hey. How's it going? Good. We're podcasting. So my approach here, as I told you before, is to have a guest and then keep pedaling until I find a better guest.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to take that personally.
No offense or what's the word for that? Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to check my messages right now to see if I have a better guest waiting.
Please do. Yeah. Yeah. If I'm just a walker by, you got to stick to the schedule if you can. Here, I can steer if you need to.
That's
text
good.
And drive.
I do need to text and drive. Nobody's getting back to me, so I'm stuck with you.
Perfect.
How did you get the Lake Chipotle hat?
At the Hennepin bus rally a couple weeks ago, the Twitter account tweeted out saying 2 people who tweet a selfie at the rally will be entered into a drawing for a hat. And I think me and one other person were the only ones to tweet a selfie there. So I got myself a hat.
That feels bad when you do a promotion and you have 2 prizes and only 2 people compete.
Yeah.
Like the point was to get lots of people to
Right, I was surprised others didn't do it because that account has like 1,000 followers or more.
And it's a nice hat.
Yeah. I've been looking for a new hat to wear around town and this is the best hyper-local one I can think of.
I feel like...
I guess your hats are pretty good though too. I need to get one of those.
Thank you.
The Bike on Bryant one.
Yeah. Thank you. Would you like a button? Huh? Would you like a button?
Oh, yeah.
Do you do the EV car share?
I have an account. I actually got my free registration at Open Streets last fall, but I haven't driven it.
You had a Streets MN post about how you gave up your car.
Yeah, last September. And I've pretty much found that I'm fine biking and occasionally taking the bus, and that gets me all the places I need. So I haven't really... I borrowed...
Podcast coming through.
All right, thanks for the tip.
Oh, this bell doesn't ring very much easily. I don't think this one works. There we go.
I don't want to ring people too much. It's kind of irritating.
Yeah.
It's like, we're at Open Streets. Don't ring me.
Yeah, slow and steady.
We can kind of coast down this hill.
Oh yeah.
So you gave up your car accidentally through the pandemic? You just came to slow realization that it wasn't useful?
I mean, I always hated driving. It's just, with the pandemic, I was able to work from home, so I really didn't need to use it. And I started biking more and more, and just staying around uptown and not doing other things as much, because, you know, pandemic. So I think between March 2020 and September 2021, when I sold my car, I drove 1,600 miles.
You were very methodical about this because you like measured it.
I was curious how much it was costing me and the mileage and things. Yeah, I had to replace the rear shocks, and there's another large, and a squirrel chewed through my left turn signal on the front.
Oh geez, you parked outside?
Yeah, my apartment building has a parking lot, which was also costing me a lot of money every month and not really doing much because I wasn't using it.
How much were you paying for parking?
They charge $85 a month.
Where do you
for a
live
service
uptown,
lot,
right?
I do. I mean, I think the newer buildings with underground parking.
Hey!
What's up? JD, couldn't tell with the sunglasses.
Yeah, I think I found my better guess.
Hell yeah. Take over.
No, we can...
It's good, it's good.
JD, would you like to be a guest on the Wedge Life podcast?
I could. What, riding?
Thank you for being a guest on the Wedge Life podcast.
All right, happy podcasting.
Okay, you all set?
Yeah.
Okay, we're back on the Wedge Life podcast, and I need to turn the camera around. Okay. My guest is JD Duggan. Are you with a particular publication now? I lost track.
I'm with Finance and Commerce right now.
Finance and Commerce? You
Yes.
sold out.
I sold out. Yeah, I write about commercial real estate. It pays the bills.
Wow. JD Duggan.
That's right. I write about housing too. I'll catch up with you, all right? My legs are too long for this bike.
Do you need me to adjust you?
Yeah, how do you do it?
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be an ordeal.
Sure.
I can also just pedal if you want to.
Just hang out?
Steer? Make sure I don't hit anyone?
All right, I'll keep my eye on the steering.
That's better, yeah. I don't want to adjust it.
How's you been?
I've been all right. You mean today or just in general?
Today. Let's talk about today.
It's a nice day. It's nice to be back at Open Streets.
I love Open Streets.
Do you come to Lindale Open Streets every time it's on?
I try to. I've only been a few times, but I'm trying to make it a regular thing. It's just great walking around, you know, and music and food and things to look at. I really love the amateur wrestling.
That's a staple.
It's just hilarious, you know.
Are you primarily a biker?
I bike some.
Transportation, or do you?
I have a car. I have a car. Don't crucify me for it, but
I won't crucify you.
I do have a car. It's nice, but I wish we had better infrastructure for multimodal transportation.
Because you look like someone who bikes full time.
Yeah.
You've got that look.
It's the plaid shirt and the long legs.
Yeah, and the long hair.
The long hair, yeah, flowing in the breeze.
I find that so much of my mental energy is focused on not hitting anyone that I don't have any good questions for you. What story are you working on currently?
I am trying to write about the housing continuum. I really am. I'm trying to find somebody who has kind of been through the continuum from maybe unsheltered homelessness or unstably housed into something a little more stable through the systems we have in place. I've been learning a lot about how difficult it is to depend on the private market to get affordable housing happening, and you know, with the legislature, I don't think they did any housing infrastructure bonds this year.
Are you going to be covering the rent control debate in Minneapolis?
I've touched on it a bit. I just wrote about the 635 Van Buren thing. I don't think I added anything new to the conversation that, you know, Katie Jones or Bill Lindeke haven't already written, but thought it would be of interest to our audience too.
What I find particularly interesting about the debate around Van Buren, and I think there was another one that Michael Rainville opposed recently.
You're right.
Like, he ran a whole campaign on we got to work with the private sector, we got to work with developers, like the business-friendly private market solutions candidate. So that's going to be his line against rent control.
Right.
While also being a super NIMBY when it comes to building market rate apartments.
He tries to play himself as the, like more conservative, but also like, I'm your neighbor, I'm your friend, and I listen to the neighbors. It's like, well, you're gonna get sued, you know? The city's gonna get sued if you do that in some cases.
But of all the council members, you'd think he would be the one to be like, no. I think he's actually said something like build, build, build.
Right.
Like, he has played himself off as very pro-developer
and housing.
Let's build more. Let's build lots more. That's the problem. Don't regulate prices.
Right.
Build, build, build.
Right. Are you surprised? Are you surprised by what he has done?
Not really. I didn't take him very seriously as a champion of housing. It's like, unless it's in my backyard. It's the NIMBY, classic NIMBY.
Sure. I think I remember some choice words you've had about him that were...
We are.
Yeah.
I think I called him a belligerent doofus.
I think oaf was another phrase that you
I wouldn't say oaf.
No?
That's your words now. You have just called Michael Rainville an oaf.
Belligerent doofus, oaf, you know, there's some crossover.
It's kind of the same thing. You found 3 letters to say what I had to say
in many
2 words,
syllables.
many letters.
Yeah.
He is an oaf.
I love Twin Town. This is a good place. I'm doing guitar lessons here right now. I've been playing for years, but want to get better.
Are you good? Are you good at all?
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm all right. I can play the classics and whatever and write some stuff, but I want to get better.
So I'm curious what happens with the rent control debate.
Right. I mean, St. Paul, there hasn't been any... I mean, their planning commission hasn't done a lot recently.
Nobody's proposing projects in St. Paul?
Right. I mean, that may have changed in the last few weeks, but for quite a while, like, projects stopped.
Yeah, I think it's helpful to Minneapolis that they went first, so we can see where the problems are potentially.
Yeah.
And maybe not make the same mistakes.
Dean DeVolis, who is kind of, he's with DJR Architecture,
he's
based
also
in
the
East
president
Phillips.
of EPNI.
Yep.
East Phillips Neighborhood Institute.
So he's a big proponent of the urban farm and things that can be done with housing with that. He calls St. Paul's rent control draconian.
It is.
You know, he's still kind of in the developer realm. He's kind of has that cross into the community realm.
I mean, it is legitimately the most stringent in the country.
Right.
So from that perspective, maybe he's correct.
Does Minneapolis learn from that and try something?
Well, we simply don't have the council that's going to approve.
That's true.
Rent control of that variety, and I know a lot of the advocates want give us the St. Paul version.
Right.
I don't know that that's going to happen.
Right. I don't think so. And maybe no version passes with this city council, right?
That's
likely
too. Although, like, I think even Linnea Palmisano has made sounds like, well, the charter amendment passed, therefore the people are asking for some version of this.
Yeah.
So it may be likely that some version is at least proposed. Whether it's so like watered down that the left side of the council says no, we won't accept it.
Right.
But I think the more conservative council members, more moderate, if I have to say that, will propose and get behind something, at least so they can say we have an alternative.
Right. That sounds about right. What do you think of how Robin Wonsley has come into the council? Because that was such an interesting race, right? Mm-hmm. It was Cam Gordon, who was very much a leftist, getting challenged by Robin Wonsley.
Very, like, outspoken. Mm-hmm. And I like her passion and like her willingness to stand up to people.
This was laid out when City Council approved the Transportation Action Plan last year. Under Action Transit 2.5, it states that road construction projects on high frequency transit corridors allocate dedicated space for bus only lanes and other transit advantages. The original Hennepin reconstruction design that was presented to council and the community for input fully met this policy and achieved setting a new standard in how our roads are designed as we move into a greener, cleaner, and equitable future. And it seems to be a pattern or a practice amongst our leadership to hide or weaken policy solutions brought forward by our staff that will actually have significant impact on bettering the lives of working class people in our city.
Yeah.
I wonder how much it's making her a target of, you make enemies when you're outspoken.
Right.
People take shots at you, and so I wonder how that affects her ability to even get routine things done, because she potentially makes a lot of enemies at City Hall.
She's making all the enemies.
People are throwing down roadblocks to get back at Robin.
I wonder, right? Because you got to play the game a little bit, or do you? If more of the far left council were to put their foot down and say no on things, would that lead toward progress? Maybe not. I don't know. She's been very, very outspoken.
Yeah. I think she asked the mayor to resign.
Has she? Yeah, yeah. Good for her.
In fact, I'll come out right here on this podcast and say, Jacob Frey, resign now.
Yeah.
I'm demanding
You said it too now. There it is.
I'm not making friends.
Right.
I don't think he'll do it.
I don't think he will either. Where do you think he's going to go after this?
A third term? I don't know what else he's got going on.
Right. Do you think he's positioned it, because he did a great job of positioning himself from being, the head of the police department to I am the law and order candidate. He came out as I'm a progressive champion and has now found this weird middle ground of being the law and order candidate in the election.
Yeah.
Do you think he's lost any chance at upward political mobility?
I think just being mayor of Minneapolis means
doesn't work well for
lose
you.
your chance. Like maybe he runs against Ilhan, maybe he's trying to set himself up for that.
Right.
But there was a time in his first term where I felt like he wanted to be liked by the left. Like he was still trying.
Right.
And we are beyond that point now.
Yeah.
Where he's fallen into a very crusty center-right law and order, as you say, coalition, and those are, I think he's come to accept these are my people now.
Sure.
And the left is, nobody very left of center is going to like me.
Right.
And even the people who vote for me are not really going to like me.
Sure, except for his close circle at least.
Yeah.
Maybe he's thriving in that spot, it seems.
Is he thriving?
I think he won, right? There's that. Maybe that's not thriving, but
he won,
is that a successful place to be for the long term? Is that spot where that's your circle, is the Don Samuels and et cetera?
As you say, it worked. But the question is he competent to, because it's a hard job, it's a more important job than ever now that the strong mayor thing is passed.
Right.
So competence is key. And my question is, and I wish for Jacob Frey's success because I live in Minneapolis.
Right.
And I want the city to get better.
Yeah.
And we're stuck with him for 3 years. I'm not hoping for him to fail.
Yeah.
Because I want the city to get better. And my worry there is, even though we disagree on a lot of things politically, is the competence there to make sure he can be successful and do good things for the city, and that's what I worry about. Because he's all politics and very little substance. Those are my concerns.
Right. Yeah.
Not that I want to drag you into giving lots of opinions that will cause you problems with finance and commerce.
Right. I think you're right, and I brought it up because I think about it a lot.
We'll be right back after a brief message from our sponsor.
As you may have noticed, this is Pedal Pod Week on the Wedge Live podcast, bringing you the world's first pedal-powered podcast studio. All of these episodes, recorded entirely from open streets on Lyndale Avenue, are brought to you by Dispatch. This month, Dispatch lays out some fashionable local shirt recommendations for your summer style, plus they check in with Mary Lucia, preview the upcoming Afro-Punk Festival, unpack the insane memes of the Walker Teens Instagram, and much more. Sign up for their newsletter and get more reports from the Minneapolis and St. Paul arts and culture scene at dispatchmsp.com. That's dispatchmsp.com.
How does Finance and Commerce hire someone with your wonderful hair?
They didn't. It was a phone interview.
Phone interview.
So they had no idea.
During the pandemic.
I got hired. That's right. I said, this is great. The piercings in the hair won't be an issue, and they haven't been an issue.
You used to have like a young Lindeke look.
I remember you saying that.
Bill Lindeke?
Yes.
If there was
That's a compliment. That's great.
A cartoon prequel to the Bill Lindeke that we know in real life.
Yeah.
You would star in that, young Lindeke.
Did you read his book?
How many books does he have?
I'm thinking the recent The St. Paul oral biography. I think it's.
I don't read enough books.
That's fair.
Do you read a lot of books?
I read some books. I've been reading horror books recently. I read Tom Weber's Minneapolis biography, and that was I really enjoyed that. I actually read that. Okay.
We're gonna turn.
Can we head back toward my?
Yeah, we're gonna get you back to your people.
Yeah.
Are they gonna continue to walk our direction?
Ooh, I don't know. They'll figure it out. We'll see them. I feel bad not biking with you. My knee hits.
Oh, don't worry, it's easy.
What's up?
Nice ride.
Yeah. I love this neighborhood. I'm looking for a place in September.
You're moving here?
And I would like to move to the Whittier neighborhood. I have lived in the Whittier neighborhood probably the most out of the neighborhoods in Minneapolis, and absolutely love it.
It's very nice here. You're close to lakes. You're close to lots of shops and restaurants.
Right.
You can walk and bike places. You'll probably bike
easily.
more.
Exactly. Southeast Minneapolis. I mean, I can bike in Southeast. There's some good spots.
I find that I rarely have reason to leave this area. It's got everything I need.
Right, because you're just a little ways north of here, right?
Yeah.
Such a nice area.
I'm not going to give my address on a podcast.
No, that's fair.
Oh, there's Melody. Hey, Melody. We're podcasting.
Oh yeah. Are you podcasting live?
We're podcasting live.
Not live.
We're not live. Well, that's
we're
fine.
recording. Yeah.
Okay. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Oh, cool.
Hey.
I need to. Hi, I'm Melody.
JD, we've met over online.
Okay.
I usually wear glasses, but
yes. Hi.
Young Lindeke. That's what I often say.
You are.
Young Bill Lindeke.
So what's the topic at hand right now?
We're just bullshitting. I didn't prepare anything, Melody.
This is really cool, though. Whose setup is that?
This is mine. I don't know how good the quality is. It's a little washed out.
Well, probably because of the angle and stuff, but
that
looks cool.
It does.
I would want one of those.
It's just a phone.
Yeah, but you have a tripod and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's like a $20 tripod.
And you have that black box with that black button.
Yeah, that's a battery.
And you have clip-on things.
This is Conrad's.
Conrad is the best. Hi, Conrad.
Okay. I don't know how much material I'm going to have because I'm recording all day and I'm worried you get to the end of it and you've got nothing.
Yeah, that's fair. You know, what do you want it to be about? That's the thing. Is it about politics? Is it about the enjoyment of traversing the city?
I mean, all I have is a concept, JD. All I have is this concept.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping for magic to happen.
Right.
We could just slow pedal in silence.
It could be like an ASMR thing.
Right.
Or just a mellow going through the city. Do you bike usually? You don't bike.
Nice ride?
You do, yeah.
So I split my time. I do a lot of walking because I'm basically around the neighborhood a ton.
Yeah.
And then maybe split equally the rest of it between busing and biking.
Yeah.
So the neighborhood meets all of my needs in that way.
That's great.
And I'm on Nice Ride constantly.
Yeah. Where do you get your groceries?
Aldi.
Oh, I knew that.
To ask?
I knew that. I absolutely knew that. Where'd you go before? Because the Wedge isn't necessarily.
I would occasionally bike to Aldi. I would go to Cub a lot.
The Cub's a great one, yeah.
Cub is not a great one.
I mean, it's relatively inexpensive compared to many of the other options in the city.
But I find often that it's not.
No?
Yeah, I'll go to Target, like right after I go to Cub, I'll be like, wow, I just paid like an extra $1 at Cub. I could have got this something nicer and better.
Really?
Cheaper, yeah. Cub is surprisingly expensive for a place you expect to be value-oriented.
Right. That's unfortunate.
I mean, you're almost better going to like Kowalski's or Lund's.
Right.
Things are downhill, but Cub can get away with it. They're constantly very crowded. The lines at Cub are insanely long, the Uptown Cub.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I used to frequent the area. I worked at Mesa and I've worked at Uptown Pizza here along Lake Street. Cub was the spot.
What is your current grocery store?
What is I drive to the Quarry.
Okay.
You know, we don't have a lot of options. Lund's is near me, and Lund's has nice things. It's just very expensive.
That doesn't sound like a very. That doesn't sound like an enjoyable lifestyle, driving to the Quarry. Just saying the word.
No, it's
Quarry.
terrible. Here's a bunch of surface lots and a Home Depot and a Target and a Cub. But the U area is a bit of a food desert, unless you count Target Express and.
Fresh Time.
I guess there's Fresh Time now. It's on the far side from me, but. I've only been there once. That area is really cool. The Innovation District, Tower Side, that's really building up fast, and it's cool to see that.
Is that the thing Cam Gordon was pushing?
Cam Gordon was a part of it. Vince Netz, if you know him.
I do know Vince.
He was president, probably still is.
Prospect Park?
He was of the Prospect Park Association, but also of Tower Side, the Innovation District. Okay. About density in transit and, you know, all the things that you would like and that I like too.
Yeah. Although you work for Finance and Commerce,
so I can't say that. I can't say that out loud.
You're legally obligated to say that.
I have to
because
developers.
You're paid by developers. Right. Do you get any hate for the publication you work with?
I did get somebody who said you're a journalist of the people, kind of like, oh. Hey man, you're working there, and I was like,
you sold out?
You know, freelancing for a year right out of college wasn't quite doing it.
No, thank you.
We have bubbly water and regular water. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, though.
Appreciate it.
It's fine. We can stop the flow of traffic all we want.
Yeah. So one person. Most other people, like the activists that I've been in touch with throughout unrest and things like that, are like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah, good job.
It's not that I've asked them, but they're like, yeah, cool, good for you.
Which publication does Dylan Thomas work at?
He's at Biz Journals, I believe, right?
Yeah, there's so many business magazines.
Those are the two. Oh, and then there's MSP Mag, and there's
You're basically
RE Journals.
Limited if you want a job in journalism. You have to work for a business magazine.
Just do business. Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because Wedge Live is not hiring.
That's true, right?
We're never hiring. What is the state of journalism in the Twin Cities? Because there was a time when the Southwest Journal went under, City Pages went under, and it felt like, wow, we're only going to be left with one thing. But we have Sahan Journal.
Sahan has come up.
Reformer. We have Southwest Voices. Racket.
Yeah.
It feels like a resurgence, and I'm hoping it's sustainable.
And and MinPost has been around this whole time, so there's the more kind of independent media.
MinPost feels a lot of very Minnesota focused to me. Rarely do they write anything. I shouldn't say that, because Bill Lindeke writes for MinPost, right?
Yeah, and he does a lot of St. Paul. A lot of St. Paul stuff.
I love MinPost for publishing Bill Lindeke, Lindeke.
There's some good city kind of explainer stuff too. Solomon Gustavo does a good job with that. What is the state of it, though? It's interesting. There's a big shakeup happening at NPR right now. You know, a lot of people have quit or retired in the last year or two that have been at NPR.
Maybe I don't pay enough attention to NPR, but like, when did Glenn Taylor's daughter?
Yeah.
Glenn Taylor's daughter runs the company that owns NPR?
Yeah, what is she? Is she board chair or president or something now?
Seems bizarre.
What was that, about a year ago? Maybe not quite?
I don't want Glenn Taylor running the Star Tribune, and I don't want his daughter running NPR.
It's very strange, isn't it?
I don't know the first thing about her.
I mean, journalism's in a time of transition right now, and the benevolent quote-unquote billionaire model is the kind of go-to for keeping a newspaper running.
So is the idea for bringing in Glenn Taylor's daughter that Glenn Taylor's money will also flow into that?
Who knows? I
guess
we
with
can
a public
assume,
radio station?
Yeah, but public radio, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of donations,
fundraising is
right?
thing.
But I know there have been a lot of complaints about the higher ups make a lot of money and the people on the ground doing tons of work don't.
Yeah.
Some really good journalists and photojournalists and other employees have left recently. Where are my people?
How are your knees? Are your knees okay?
I mean, I've just been sitting, so they're fine.
Okay, good. Keep sitting. I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Yeah, thank you. I won't strain myself here.
And let me know where your people are.
I'm looking for them.
It's easy to miss.
It is. There's a lot of people. Do you go to any of the other open streets?
Try to go to them all.
Yeah.
But this is the best one.
This is?
Yeah. Lindale Open Streets, it's the best.
It's on the record. I worked at Galactic Pizza back in the day too, and that was, I think I've told you that.
Delivery man?
Oh yeah, and I cooked and stuff too. Loved it there. Great job. As far as food places go.
Backside foot, not quite. Caleb's got an O, Jesse's got OU. It's go time.
Name this artist.
Switch flip. That'll do it. Caleb. That works. We got the crowd live too.
Yeah.
From Jesse. Technical skaters.
We're podcasting.
Yes. Hello. Thank you. Sorry, I keep turning us. I think we're wider than we actually are.
That's fine. I need help correcting. It's good that we can both steer.
That's good, yeah. Where'd we leave them? Right about here, wasn't it?
I think so.
All right, they're at 5 watt. I'm gonna...
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, good to see you.
And is this your bag?
That's my bag.
Okay.
Thanks for the conversation, man.
See ya.
This is a real thing. Real thing.
None of you have the balls to stop this. Stop this.
I've got plenty of time. I have nothing else going on today.
We're in the Wedge neighborhood right now.